we're going to walk through setting up Firefox and getting prepared for using proxies, so that if we are creating multiple accounts, we don't leave a footprint. All right, and this is how we get around accounts getting terminated right after they were created. All right, so this is something that absolutely has to be done if you're going to be creating multiple accounts. Okay, so that said, the first thing we want to do is go to Firefox. I always recommend using Firefox for your SEO activities, not Chrome. Okay, and there may be other browsers out there like Safari and stuff like that. I'm not an Apple user, so I couldn't tell you anything about those. All I can tell you is that I recommend using Firefox for SEO work. But before you can use Firefox just out of the box, you need to make sure that you configure it properly, because otherwise you're going to be, again, leaving a footprint that can end up having some of your accounts terminated or require unnecessary verification processes and everything else. So this is just the best way to go about it. I personally am logged into Chrome through my main Google account at all times, because that's how I'm connected through all of my Google apps like Gmail and YouTube and Google Plus and everything else. So I do most of my daily activities inside of Chrome, but any SEO activities I do are inside of Firefox. And it's a clean browser. I always am cleaning my browser to make sure that it's a clean session, there's no cookies, everything else. And so we're going to walk through all of that in the next several minutes. So the first thing we want to do is go to Firefox. So just open up Firefox. If you don't have it, download it and install it, and then you're going to open it up. And one of the very first thing we want to do is disable WebRTC. WebRTC is a setting inside of Firefox that will actually leak a lot of your information about your local IP and your machine to the web, and so we want to disable that. All right, so we're going to open up Firefox. Here we are in Firefox, and I'm going to show you how to get everything set up to where it's on a blank settings page like this, or a blank Firefox page. But in the address bar, we want to type in about:config. So I'm just going to copy that and paste this in. And it says that this might void your warranty. I understand that, so just say I'll be careful, I promise. Click the blue button. Then you're going to scroll down to media.peerconnection.enabled. Okay, so it's way down. There's a lot in here, but we want to scroll all the way down. It's in alphabetical order, so we're going to scroll down to the M's. Media.peerconnection.enabled is what it should be. Media.peerconnection.enabled. Right here. Okay, so on this line, I've already set it to false, but by default, it's going to be set to true. So what you need to do is click on it and set it to false, okay? So you just double click it to change it from true to false. All right, so again, mine's already been done, but just to walk through it again, go to about:config, hit enter, say, yes, I understand the risks, I'll be careful, I promise. Then scroll down to media.peerconnection.enabled, and then double click it to set it, to change it from true to false. Okay? Now, once you're done with that, we want to change the default search engine. By default, well, it depends. If you've already had Firefox installed, there's a chance that you've had Google set as your default search engine. I think by default now, Firefox actually comes when you first install it with either Bing or Yahoo. I'm not 100% sure because I've had it installed forever. Regardless, you want to change your default search engine to be something other than Google. So in your address bar up here, you should have this little search box, and if you click that, you're going to see where it says change search settings. You just want to click that, and you want to select from the drop down a search engine other than Google, okay? Because we don't want, if we have Google present as a search as the default search engine up here in the address bar at all times, then they're going to have, it's basically almost like using Chrome, because they're going to have some of their code in the address bar, so they're going to be able to see all of the activity that we're doing inside of Firefox. So I just recommend using either Yahoo or Bing. Okay, I've got mine set to Yahoo, but it really doesn't matter. Just select one of those. Okay, and then just to change it to something other than Google. And let me make a note of that real quick. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is go into the Firefox options and set a few different things. Okay, so number one, we're going to go to the Firefox options, which is under the tools menu, and then click the options button. So once we're in, well, we're already in here now, but if we weren't, you could go up to the menu bar up here, where you see this up here, and you click Tools and Options. If you don't see this up here, right click in this gray area up here, and you'll look where it says Menu Bar, and you want to click on Menu Bar, okay? And in fact, let me get rid of the bookmark toolbar, but just make sure that there's a check mark next to Menu Bar, and that'll show this menu up here at the very top. And again, you just go to Tools and Options, okay? And then from here, what I have it as when Firefox starts, you want to have it show a blank page, okay? Because you don't want, we're going to be cleaning Firefox in between account setups, and we want to make sure that we're not leaving any cookies, so or any trace or trail of what we had been doing. So I just put it on when Firefox starts, show a blank page, okay? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the privacy settings, and from here, where it says Firefox will, and under this drop down, select Use Custom Settings for History, and then these are the settings that you want to keep checked. Remember search and form history. The reason I do that is I have a checkbox there for convenience, because when you start to fill out the forms to create accounts across all the different accounts that we're going to be setting up for the IFTTT networks, it's convenient to have it remember the form history, so that when you start to type in, you can just double click and it will fill in the it will populate the fields. It's just kind of a nice feature to have, and it gets cleaned when we close the browser anyways, and we do the cleanup process, which we're going to walk through as well. Accept cookies from sites. Some sites won't work unless you accept cookies. So again, these will only be session-based cookies. In other words, when we close and do a cleanup process, they will be cleaned. And then clear history when Firefox closes. We want to make sure that that is checked. These are the only settings I care about. I don't care what else you do for the rest of your stuff, but these are the ones that we should most likely, that I recommend that you set under privacy. So if in the notes here, you'll see that I have a little screenshot of that showing Firefox will use custom settings for history, remember search form history, accept cookies from sites, and clear history when I close Firefox. Okay. Then after you've done setting those, the next thing we're going to do is add in a few. Let me open up a blank tab. We're going to add in a few extensions. Again, you only need to go through this process with the Firefox extensions if you're going to be creating multiple accounts and building multiple networks. If you're not, then you can skip over all this. All right. But Foxy Proxy Standard, I've got a link right here in the notes. These links will also be in the description area of this video. But we're going to walk through setting it up right now, and I'm also going to walk through how to find these on your own, because in case for whatever reason you don't see the links. But Foxy Proxy Standard, so I'm just going to go ahead and, well, let's just walk through finding it yourself. I'm going to go up here and change this to Google so that I can use Google for my search engine for right now. It's not my default search engine, but I am going to use it for the moment, and I'm going to search for Foxy Proxy Standard Firefox right there. Okay, and right here we're going to click on this, and you're going to see that this is the Foxy Proxy Standard browser extension or add-on. Okay, and what we want to do is go ahead and click Continue to Download, and we're going to click Add to Firefox, and it's going to say Install, and then Restart Now. So you click Restart Now, and it'll take a second, and then it will Firefox will reopen again. Okay, now if you don't see, let me close this because I don't want you to see that yet. If you don't see it up here, it's because it's not, you need to go configure your bar up here, your toolbar, which you can do by clicking the open menu button and then go over here to customize, and you can see Foxy Proxy Standard is here, and I could, if I wanted to, I could drag it up here and drop it into place. This is going to be the Foxy Proxy Standard icon. However, I'm not going to put it there only because I'm going to use something else that's called an add-on bar, which we're going to show you here in a minute. And then that's where I'm going to put that. Okay, but you can put it up here if you want. This is the icon that you're going to use when you go to add proxies if you're using SOX proxies, which we'll talk about those probably in another video. Then that's the tool you're going to use to add the proxies to use for your browsing session. Okay, so you can either put it in the toolbar up here at the top, or you can put it in the add-on bar at the bottom, which I'm going to show you how to do here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and click Exit Customizer. or customization. And now that we have that installed, the next one we're going to do is use the add-on bar restored, it's called. And what this does is it allows us to put an add-on bar down here at the bottom of the Firefox browser, the browsing window, so that we can use two different, well, one, we can put Foxy Proxy in there, but number two, there's a tool that I like to use called Proxy Tool, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment as well. And we put that in the add-on bar down here also. Okay, so we're going to go search for Google. We're going to go to Google and search for add-on bar restored, and you'll see add-on bar restored, add-ons for Firefox. Just click on that, and right here, the add-on bar, go ahead and click add to Firefox, click install. Now it says it's been installed, and if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see now that this blue bar showed up, and you'll see over here that we have the Foxy Proxy icon down here because I put it in the add-on bar. And then there's also this other tool here, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. Okay, but if you don't see the add-on bar after you've installed it, then just right click up here in this gray area, and then you'll see in this little menu here the add-on bar. Okay, so if we click on that and we'll click the add-on bar, you'll see that it appears. If you don't see it, then it's because you need to click in this gray area and click the add-on bar, and it will show up. And you can see there's my Foxy Proxy icon. This other icon, I'm going to show you what that is next. This last one is called Proxy Tool. Proxy Tool is a little program that you can use. You could also use Proxy Tool for your to enter your proxies into instead of using Foxy Proxy. I personally only use Proxy Tool as part of my cleanup process in between browsing sessions. So like in between account setups and things like that. So you can use it entirely for your proxy tool instead of using Foxy Proxy, but personally I just use it for the cleanup part, which we're going to walk through as well. But let's go back over here to Google, and we're going to say Proxy Tool for Firefox, and you'll see it's right this one. Click on that, and you're going to see it's this little PT icon here. It says Proxy Tool, and you want to click Continue to Download, add to Firefox, click Install, restart now. Now that it's come back up, you'll see that I have Proxy Tool now is installed. This is that little H icon you see over here. That's actually Proxy Tool. So it's not showing up in the screen because it's for some reason it's showing up outside the screen. But if I hover over this with my cursor, this little box pops up, and it says Proxy Tool, and it gives your some information about your external IP, and it's got a little ad or whatever. But that's how you know it's working. Now, what Proxy Tool is important for is when I right click it, you'll see a box come up, and again, it's not showing right now because it's outside of the viewing area for the screencast recording. But there's when you right click it, a gray options menu pops up, and there's a few options on there that we're going to use in between browsing sessions. Okay, so again, if you don't see that there, then you want to configure your add-on bar, which again you can go over here to the menus for the open the menu for Firefox, and then go to Customize, and then you can edit your add-on bar down here. Okay, by using the Customize Firefox. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shut that, and you'll see that we have everything in here that we want. Now I think if I want to, I can move that around. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to move around. That's okay, I'm not worried about that. It doesn't really matter where those icons are, just as long as you have them. Okay, so the next thing is CCleaner. We want to make sure that we download CCleaner. Again, only if you're going to be doing a whole bunch of accounts do you need this. I recommend that you clean your cookies and cache anyways, every so often, because otherwise your browser will slow down, so will your computer. Your whole computer will slow down. So CCleaner is a free program that you can use to download and clean cookies and cache, and we're going to walk through CCleaner setup and configuration. But we'll go ahead and do that in the next video, because pretty much right now we are done with setting up Firefox, and that was really the most important thing, was to get these things installed. Disable WebRTC, change the default search engine, set your Firefox options, and then add the Firefox extensions. And that's pretty much it for Firefox setup. In the next video we'll go into CCleaner proxies, adding proxies, and then we'll talk about VPN again very briefly.